I was coming down Stadium Parkway towards Vieira Hospital, and out of the corner of my eye, caught the collision. And as I focused in on the actual crash, I didn't really see too much. I just saw one car stop, and the other car saw a splash into the water. It was behind bushes, so I couldn't actually see it submerge. So I was getting ready to call 911. I was getting out of the car, and I heard another lady. She was already calling. So I put the phone down and just went over and tried to see what I could help with. I asked the first people I came on how they were doing, and one was responsive and the other one was semi-responsive. She was still conscious though. And then from there, since they were okay, I went over to the pond where the car had gone into, and there was one woman. She had helped the elderly man out of the car already, so they were already on the bank of the pond. And there was another man, and he was treading water over the car. And I asked him, where everyone was, if there was anyone left in the car, and he told me that there's a passenger in there, and they didn't know where they were. So just going off that there were passengers, the back door was open, so I reached in there, went underwater, reached in and tried to see what I could feel, and I didn't feel anything. So I went over to the other passenger door, opened that one, and tried to see what was inside. Didn't feel anything once again. So I came back up, and one of the ladies that was off on the bank of off the pond, she yelled that she was in the front seat, in the front passenger seat. So knowing that, I went over to the front passenger seat, and the window was a little already pried open a little, I'm assuming from the collision. So I pulled that the rest of the way out and felt the woman inside. So she still had her seatbelt on. When I came back up, there was an officer coming out to help me. So I told him what the situation was, that there was a woman trapped in there. She had her seatbelt on still. He was out there, and I told him that I would go down and cut the seatbelt off. So that's what I did, and came back up, and at this point another officer was coming out to help. So I told both of them the situation, and then asked if they were ready, and we all went down. And I pulled her halfway out, and then I came up for air, and as I was going back down, one of the officers had already pulled her out of the car, and we pulled her the rest of the way to the shore of the pond.
I mean, what's it like when you see that happen right in front of you? I mean, what goes through your head when you see that?
It was just a rush. I mean, nothing specifically. I just kind of acted on it and went over there. I didn't have any thought of endangering myself, really. Just coming up for air when I needed it. So we didn't have 2 casualties. But besides that, just going in and getting her out.
So pretty much acting on pure adrenaline.
Basically.
You're in the armed forces.
Yes.
What branch?
Air Force.
Air Force. What do you do in the Air Force?
I'm an aircrew flight equipment apprentice. So we work on gear that the pilots use. And that's about it.
So, did any of your service training or anything like that help you?
I had a little bit before. I went through a special operations training that dealt a lot with the water and being uncomfortable in there and pushing your limit. So I was very confident in going under the water and being able to hold my breath to try and get the woman out.
So when the woman was pulled out, was she conscious?
She was unconscious. She was no response whatsoever. Since I had been trying to get her out and feeling around, I didn't feel any movement whatsoever. So, and I'm not aware of her status as of right now.
We'll do that. As far as jumping in there, I mean, when you look back at it, would you do anything differently? Would you still risk your life and all that?
Definitely. Maybe just faster. I wasn't hesitant, but I was just trying to figure out what was going on, and so I would have taken my uniform off and jumped in a lot quicker.
So definitely right place, right time.
Definitely.
All right, that's gonna be like my part. I gotta see if he wants me to ask you any more questions. He sent me an email. I do not know. I usually never look at the emails before. He wanted to know, did you perform CPR or anything like that?
I did not. by the time we dragged her to the bank of the pond, there were firemen and paramedics on scene, so they performed CPR.
Alright, and kind of answered this one, but I'm going to ask it a different way, so I'll see if you answer it a different way. How much does adrenaline play a part in reacting in these situations?
It was a big portion. I really just not thinking at all. Didn't have nothing hurt. I don't know. I got cut a few times, but I didn't feel any of that. So it was basically just going. It was hard to hold my breath for a long time just because of the adrenaline rush, but I held it as long as I could underwater.
Alright, and like in looking back on it, how quickly did everything happen?
To me, very quickly, but I mean, anywhere from 5-10 minutes, maybe more. I'm not positive.
But it seemed like it.
It seemed like maybe just 5 minutes.
All right. How difficult was it to open the door? What did you have to do?
Well, her door actually didn't open on the front passenger door, but the window, I'm not sure. There was no visibility under the water, so I'm assuming that from the collision, it was cracked open, and it was cracked more just so that I could pull it off. But I don't know if the adrenaline helped with it, but I just ripped and it was gone. So yeah.
How'd you get the seatbelt? Did you have like a knife?
I had a knife on me, yes, and I went down and cut it off.
God, right, just
a lot of luck.
A lot of luck. And finally, anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. Just
where are you stationed at?
I'm stationed in Arizona.
Arizona. Are you deployed right now, or are you?
No, that's my home base.
All right.
Right now I'm on helping my recruiter out here. So.
All right, cool. And how long are you staying here?
I'm actually leaving in 2 days. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So definitely lucky about that.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. I just get a shot of you. I guess you talking with your family or hanging out with your family.